I'm in pursuit of it all, I can't slow down, forever gotta chase it.
Running through the red lights,
Life
baby.
is when it take off, you broke then you ball, forever gotta make it.
Yeah.
Harder we go.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to another episode of Guessillsaypodcast. I'm your host, Adam L. And to the right and left of me is...
Because the governor...
Quan Bizzle. You can hear me. We have a special guest in the building. Introduce yourself, who you are, what you represent, and take it from there.
Good
and
evening.
This is live.
Thank y'all for inviting me on the show. My name is Elisha C.G. Austin. You can find me on IMDb under Elisha C.G. Austin. I am involved in behind the scenes pretty much in media, whether it's shooting a commercial, whether it's a music video, whether it's film, TV series, podcast. I've produced some series already. So I like to be involved in whatever's going on in the DMV area. So I'm a unit production manager. I help with casting, help with local artists with not so much direction. Like, I don't want to be considered a manager, but I know great people in the industry that like to take care of folks in a good way. So if I feel like I've done my part in letting someone in a correct direction versus a negative direction, I feel like I've done a good service. So everyone calls me Eli. Usually if you see me on Instagram, is get_you_grip, aka get you a grip, better known as, because what I found value working behind different productions is learning different ways of being flexible for each environment that you're going to need on. No matter what, everything is something to do, especially in the DMV area. There's something to do every single day of the week. And I just want to be a part of history, pretty much.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
So I'm anywhere from pre-production to post-production, anywhere you can find me.
And hit that information again one more time so they can get it.
Oh yeah. So if you're on Instagram, it's get your grip, but it's get_you_grip. You will see me on anyone in the DMV area if you follow. So if you follow Just Hilarious, I'm somewhere in the background, deep in the background, taking a picture somewhere. If you follow Desi Alexander, you're going to see me in some of his recent clips. If you follow Iron Crown Production, you're going to see me in some of their behind the scenes clips. If you follow Smash Entertainment, if you watch The Short Shot, if you watch some of the different hip hop talent that's in the DMV area, if you follow Shani Crutchfield, if you follow Phantom, if you follow Lodi Win, if you follow 30 Thou, like your peers in your world, I love all of them. And I love the DMV area. So if anything at all, I'm gonna be shouting out everyone that's doing something. And if you see me, even if you're on my Instagram or my TikTok, you're going to hear music from the local artists that's in the DMV area, because everything goes together like a hand in glove, even within film, because you need scores for music.
Yeah, that's love, man. That's love. We gotta have that mentality and that energy like Atlanta has.
Yes.
And so many demographics. Well, New York, the only default they have is that it started in New York, right? But they're so much divided, it's not funny. And I think Atlanta in the South show people the way how you can unify unity and just take the game over. And I don't know why for the love, the Most High, that us as a people have not mastered that yet. You get what I'm saying? It's just like family. You may not like everyone at the cookout or barbecue, but invite them to the meal. You get what I'm saying? So everybody, my man was telling me real quick. He was saying, is one of my friends that's I ain't gonna say he's a hater because he's probably gonna watch this, but he's not fond of my music. Never been. He's more to like drill rap And if there's anybody from New York, he will listen to like AZ and probably Big L or somebody like that, right? He said, yo, it's not that you trash and nothing like that. You skilled. It's just that you just not my cup of tea, right? But he said, I support you. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta have, like that support. Whether you feel the movement or you don't feel the movement, right? I'd rather have those type of people, critiquing my stuff than yes men or the get along gang, because they can say, look, man, I ain't feeling that one, but I'm gonna support you. But when you know they feeling something, it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you cook a little bit more, Eli. But we got to get into this topic with the migrants, man, because this is a very important topic dealing with our country and the future where it's heading. And if things go my way, I may be saying it from the outside looking in because I'm leaving the country soon. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, Eli. Brother Eli. Go ahead. What you about to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm make sure I play my part. But yeah, as far as the migrants, so we're going to start on topic. I understand it. My perspective is different. One, the United States is founded on being migrants. Right, wrong, or close, however it's modernized to this day, this is the foundation, the backbone. So having certain people, and my generation has come from South Carolina. We came in from Africa. So as far as us, we was imported. This wasn't our home in the first place. So, certain things is going to come back, depending on how you started things off. But at the same time, being here, I'm not 3 and 4 generations removed. I've been here for a while. So some people like the president ain't but 2 generations behind for being immigrants. You know what I mean? So depending on which generation it's affecting the most is how people's perspective is going to sway on it. And to take it even further, like there's land like in between Texas and United States, Texas, and Mexico and things like that is unclaimed territory. That those patches of land can be housing developments also. So even when it comes to the right way of doing things, there are certain spaces that are neutral territories that can be that development places.
It's real interesting you said that, because I was just watching something on the news where the governor of Texas issued out the National Guard to stop certain migrants from coming in, right? The way I feel about it real quick, and I'm gonna let Gov cook, and I'm gonna let Corn Bizzle cook. This country was, like you said, based on migrants. They came over here. We all know the story about the Native American and the Thanksgiving. I hope we all do, right? These are colonizers trying to tell someone else not to colonize, which is crazy. But on the flip side of the coin, for what I'm seeing on television, I don't know if it's correct news, but what I'm seeing, because the media only wants they control what you see and hear, right? So, but what I'm saying was happening in New York, that a lot of the benefits, also in Chicago, right? A lot of the benefits that should be given to the people who's been born over here, that's quote unquote American born, right? American born, that the homeless they're not given the same opportunities the migrants are getting, like the benefits and shelters and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So this is what the news is promoting. And my thing is, if you're going to come over, right, do it legally. And I know that's an oxymoron. I know it's crazy saying it, because I just said, these colonizers telling other people not to colonize, right? But what I'm saying is, we can't go over France, Saudi Arabia, any part of the world, jumping over, a gate or by boat or sneaking in without some type of penalty happening to us. You get what I'm saying? You would have to have a passport and every type of legal document and some type of visa, and you may not be a permanent resident there. That visa will probably only last 6 months to a year, right? And then you got to renew it. So my thing is, take care of homeland first. Make sure the people, because this presidency, and I'm not big on politics, it's effed up, bro. It's been real effed up, and home, no one's taking care of home base yet. We can't afford to have other people from outside coming in and snatching benefits. Look what happened in Chicago, right? With the black community. And why are they putting them in black communities and not putting them in the suburbs and white communities? That's another thing to think about. I'm gonna let Gov cook. I'm gonna let Quan Bizzle cook, and I'm gonna go back to you, brother Eli.
Right. It's like we're dealing with it's the game. It's like 1984, like real life 1984. We live in this. It's almost like an oxymoron type of a society that we live in. On the one hand, we know what history gave us, and when it comes to when they came and took the land and made it their own land. So then they get to live on top of this. It's like a legal precedent. Since they got the power, they also create the law, which now has their legalities in place, which tells you who's legal immigrant and who's illegal. So given that aspect of things, now you got the people that living in here. We're living here as quote unquote citizens of this same empire. You know what I mean? Like the previous empire was the Roman Empire. So we're living in this current one now. You know what I mean? And as a result, you're supposed, as a citizen of the empire, you're supposed to have certain benefits or whatever, advantages over the ones that are not citizens. So as a result of that, it's created this game in a sense. Like we who are here say they outside are taking our stuff. You see what I mean? When in reality, it's not even ours. It's theirs. They're the ones that control it. There's like 1-2% of the people that control all of this stuff. They're pretty much treating us like the cattle that keeps it going. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
And then when the game of that is they ship all these other people to come through because it's like the big type of displacement type of a deal. That's what it kind of looked like to me. Like they really displacing a lot of the population. You got a lot of the people that's here that's been here. Supposedly, all right, we don't want to address the fact that we owe them for what we did to them years ago, right? So let's just go ahead and replace them. We're not going to, and then, like we promised, we're going to give you these type of shelter. We're going to give you these programs. We're going to give you these shelters. We're going to give you all this housing and everything like that. And who's the first to go is the first that they promised it to. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's the part of it. But see, at the same time, but then when you get into the politics of it, they say choose a side. As a citizen, choose a side. So then the thing is, so you're like, oh, you know what I mean? So which one are you? Are you going to be labeled as the racists that don't want them, or the ones that, you know what I mean? So it's like this game that they're playing.
Yeah, because a lot of black votes are swaying towards Trump now, and like I said, I'm not too much into politics, but Biden has been doing not such a good job from what I see, right? And like Trump said, he said this is going to be what you call it? It's going to be a sweep.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Quan Bizzle, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, well, my opinion about it, really, I don't know too much about it, but from what I've been looking up, I just feel like when it comes to our people, I feel like it puts us at a major disadvantage. I do understand their pain. I do understand where they come from and how it's not easy for them. All they really want is a better way of living. They want a better opportunity. They want a better way of living. They want better food. They want a better life for their kids. You know what I mean? But it's also at the expense of other people. You know what I mean? That already are here and that already are fighting for what they're fighting for, a better life. So I feel like our community, as long since we came here, we've been fighting for a better life. We've been fighting for the same things they want. You know what I mean? And we still have not been given those we still have been not given some of those things that we've been promised or they said that they were going to give us. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this country as a whole, we're actually put as the bottom of the barrel, always. You see that there's other races and cultures of people that come over here and they have their stores, they have their nice cars over here and their benefits, and they point at you and look at you and be like, you need to work harder. You haven't been working hard. If you work like me, if you did what I did, maybe you'd be in my position. Maybe you own a corner store or something, right? Maybe you'll have a business. But we're paying for that, The government is giving you those things most of the time. So that's all I'm saying about it.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
to a degree. But at the same time, I kind of think like this too, though. It's the mentality. What are we getting? What are we like say over there's like a different way that they raise a lot of the people, you know what I mean, to be enterprising, you know what I mean, versus what we are pretty much. It's like we teach each other consumer, we teach the kids to go buy, but not how to sell, you know what I mean? So most of the time, like we know how to, Christmas is like the biggest holiday, you know what I mean? And what's that about? Buying the gifts and giving them away, you know what I mean? No one really goes into the whole thing about how do you earn, how do you make, how do you
Yeah, they don't teach us financial literacy in school, and that's for a reason. Because school is is
set up for work?
is set up for you to go to prison. It's set up to put you in classes. Okay, he's in a slower class, so he's most likely statistically to go to jail. She's valedictorian, or he's in a higher, he has a certain higher IQ, or put him in a higher class, he's most likely to succeed. So this is how they classify you to keep control of you. Real quick, and I'm gonna let Brother Eli cook. I don't want nobody taking this the wrong way when I say it. I want y'all to really think deep of what I'm saying. I think, to a degree, Dr. King's dream had benefits in it, but it was also a nightmare. Let me tell you why it was a nightmare. Because we were better as a people when we were segregated. Let me tell you why. Because all our money went to us. Except for worrying about how clean the white man's bathroom is, you should have spent money on cleaning your own and upgrading that. So for worrying about eating at his restaurants, you should have kept your money in the Black community and upgrading that restaurant. So if you worry about going to his schools and his books, you should have worried about putting your money into the school you're in and upgrading your books. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Since we're the highest consumers in this country, in the billions, there's no reason why our schools and our luxuries and stuff like that should not be second class or second hand. And this is what I mean by that dream was a nightmare, because once we got rid of segregation, we took our money outside our communities, and we felt that it was better that we go spend our money elsewhere outside the community. And that's what's hurting us to this day. Brother Eli, I'm gonna let you cook.
Oh, wow, I don't even know where to start. It's so much that I can go off of based off of the three different topics. So if I can go in reverse, I know a little bit about politics, and for the sake of Trump versus Biden still implements the laws that Trump put in place. So as far as those two specifically, they're the same type of people. ICE was created because of Trump. We didn't have that shit before. My fault. Are we allowed to curse? We ain't had that before 45. So, different things that come up in politics, whether you remove it or add things, it all comes to whoever's in charge and, at that time in office. And, as far as the segregation concept, I always want everyone to understand the purpose of why we was brought here in the first place. We was a product, simple and plain. We was to answer supply and demand. So when we got here, and our offerings had to, be a contracted to that also, we was never of value, especially since we're still 3/4 in the Constitution in 2024. So as a product and being as a resale and doing whatever the fuck they want, it was never going to give us anything. And I have a problem with us expecting them to be an honorable person when they have not. And I don't want anyone in 2024 going forward thinking that they are entitled to anything that this government either allows us to have or don't allow us to have. Regardless of anything, there are certain people that refuse the system and there's certain people that live off the system. And 9 times out of 10, it's people are lighter complexion than all 4 of us here. That's taking more advantage of the system than hardworking people.
Big time.
I must say. So, and then I also think fast forward in that same time period of the nightmare of the MLK, because as a content creator, I've also had the same mind frame of what would have happened. We've had certain films such as White Man's Burden that told the story of what would have happened if the slaves won. Have y'all ever seen that's an older film? But at the same time, you think about a segregation one, right? That we held on to those laws and it was honorable. The realistic part of segregation is that would have increased the faster rate of the Civil War because supply and demand dictates who is going to own more of the land. And if we were the majority at any point before 2024, that would have been a conflict within the United States. So segregation itself, I agree with you. We did better than. They burned our joints down. You can go over the history of the greatest lakes in this godforsaken nation and realize that there was a Black successful establishment being raised there. Your favorite parks in New York, your favorite parks in Atlanta, your favorite parks across the world. We lived there at some point. We migrated and had families, and it was bombed for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what's up, man. I enjoyed this segment, man. This ends this segment. Guess I've said. You can reach us at Guess I've said at what's that, gmail.com or whatever, right? Guess I said at gmail.com. I'm terrible with these things. Well, anyway, Kwana have it up on the board. You can also text me, Brother Eli, information that you gave earlier where you can get contact, where they can find you at. And we'll also text that on the screen later on. The next segment, when we come back, I really didn't. It was on the what is the 21 Savage album review. We can get into that. I only listened to it like twice, right? I liked it, but I can't really give you a real detail on the album. But we'll talk about that a little bit, and we'll also talk about if do we consider Sexy Red as hip hop, and once her album debut, would it flop? Would it flop? Would it flop? I say it won't, and I'll give you my opinion that it won't. How I think it won't flop, right? But yeah, I'm your host Adam L. Beside me is who?
Called the governor.
And
Quan Bizzle, what's up?
And you rocking with your favorite Ock. We'll return for the next segment. Peace.
All right.